Hey, you're back with B&T Living in the V, episode 4. This is our follow-up on our when we left Greensburg to heading to Austin, Texas, and what we've seen and what we've done since we've been moving that direction. We've been moving, what did I say, Mom? About
we left the 14th.
we left the 14th, so it's been a couple days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, since we rolled out, and we are tonight right outside of Shreveport, Louisiana. Beautiful place, man. We're going to talk about some different things tonight. We're going to talk about Memphis. We're going to talk about Mississippi. We're going to talk about what we've seen so far in Louisiana. We just got to Louisiana. We haven't been in Louisiana long. We are stopped at a pilot tonight, and we'll talk about it a little more because it's a little different than any pilot we've ever been to. It's kind of neat. When we come through Memphis, man, we come down through Tennessee. We went through Memphis, and we stayed in Memphis at a pilot that night, which was kind of neat because it was a double pilot. It was one here and there was one here, and they were all kind of one big spot, so it was kind of neat. Shout out to Pilot. Thanks, Pilot, for everything you do for people that travel like we do and stuff, because if it wasn't for Pilot, man, we couldn't do this, you know what I mean? Can't afford to stay in hotels, and we're doing Vanlife, and only certain places let you park, and Pilot's real good to people, so thanks, Pilot, you know what I mean? Met some ladies down at a crossroads and going toward Memphis. They were taking up money. Some of the sweetest ladies I ever met. So I hope the change we give and everybody else give goes out good for the people that needed the heart surgery or whatever they were taking it up for. God bless them, and I hope it makes it that far. You know what I mean? Sweet ladies down there, man. Super nice people. Went to a barbecue spot in Memphis. As soon as we got to Memphis, we were starved to death. So we was like, well, Memphis is known for barbecue, so let's check it out, you know. So we stopped at a spot called Smoky City Barbecue, and hands down best barbecue sauce I ever had in my whole life. It was sweet, it was spicy, it was good. It was hands down the best.
It was shredded shoulder instead of like a big slab of shoulder.
Yeah, shredded shoulder sandwiches, man, is what we had, and they were so big, and they were so big you couldn't eat a whole one just about. Yeah, man, they were great, dude. It was just like barbecue is supposed to be. You had to eat it with a fork, almost like Sloppy Joe, but just 10,000 times better, you know what I mean? But shout out to Smoky City, man. If you get down to Memphis, check them out because they are legit. We had episode 3 and 3.5 was about Graceland and Sun Studios. Check that out on our channel. Like and subscribe. Like this video or dislike it. Let us know if you like it or you don't like it. You got time? You're watching it now? Just hit the button. When we want to give a shout out to the people in Memphis, some of the nicest people we met were in Memphis. We met some good folks and stuff. Now, we did go inside a souvenir shop, man. And if you don't know, Tennessee is maskless. Like, you don't have to wear a mask inside a business unless a business has a sign on the door that says you have to wear a mask. Well, right behind Sun Studios is a souvenir shop, you know. We figured we'd go in there and check it out and look around. Just kind of, you know, we was wasting a little time anyway, so we just check it out. So we go inside. The lady, cashier, didn't have a mask on. No signs. So we just went on inside, no mask at all, you know what I'm saying? We went on inside, we was looking around this and this. Well, while we were in there, this other lady was in there and she was checking out. I didn't know she was in there. Tanya knows she was in there. And the lady that was checking out, she told the cashier lady, hey, you should wear a mask next time. And this is what the cashier lady said to her. She said, I'm not wearing drawers either. Is that any of your business? Okay, well, this lady walks a couple steps, turns around, looks at the cashier and goes, you're part of the problem. If we ain't heard that a million times, you know what I'm saying? So this lady asked her to leave, and then we had a big, long conversation about how people should mind their own business. And if you're not minding your own business, you should be minding your own business. That's a problem with America these days, is people don't mind their own business. Mind your own business. But anyway, Memphis was cool, man. We had a good time in Memphis, you know what I'm saying? And if I learned anything from Memphis is they got some awesome barbecue sauce, a lot of good music, and you should mind your own business when you're in Memphis. You know what I'm saying? That's what we learned, you know what I'm saying? So after Memphis, we got up the next morning. Like I said, the 2 videos on there, check them out. Like and subscribe to our channel. Keep up with us moving around, traveling, things like that. And we just started van life, man. So you get to watch us fail. We get to tell you about all the funny stuff that happens to us and all this extra stuff. So moving on down to Mississippi. Where we go, bud? Holly Springs, Mississippi. Yeah. To see the graves of R.L. Burnside and Junior Kimbrough.
Or just to see what they had in the town
Yeah,
about
just,
'em.
you know, because that's where hill country blues comes from. And if you know anything about the blues, hill country blues is totally different than Mississippi Delta blues. We went through the Mississippi Delta today and saw Robert Johnson's grave. If you haven't seen all the photographs of all the grave sites and things like that, Tanya and Brandon at Facebook is our page, and Brandon Cox is my music page. There's CDs on there to buy. Like our music, we busk, we play a little music. COVID's got us kind of slowed down right now, so there's not a lot of music stuff going
Well, I
on.
don't
So
have
we're
Robert
traveling
Johnson,
around.
The pictures of his grave on
Oh,
there
so
yet.
the
We
Robert
only-
Johnson pictures are to come then.
Yeah.
So you will have
the
Robert
ones
Johnson.
We have are the,
And if you don't know who Robert Johnson is, you better get your Google out and figure it out. And if you don't know who R.L. Burnside and Junior Kimbrough is, you better get your Google out and figure it out, because these guys are blues legends. Blues legends. But what got me was we went through Holly Springs thinking this place is going to be awesome because it's a home of hill country blues. They're going to have something for these guys because they are legends, you know.
we spent probably 2 hours asking people just around town if they knew
Yeah,
anything. And
in Holly
they didn't know
Springs, of the
anything.
place where these guys lived. One of them lived his whole life and died and is buried in the town.
The only guy that could tell us anything was at a place called Mighty Finds where he fixed cars,
Yeah,
and it was a
it's
gas
a convenience
station.
store. It was like an old school,
And
like
he
40s, 50s
didn't
gas
even
station.
know. He called one of his friends and put Brandon on the phone with him.
Yeah, which his name was William Holloway, Holloway, something like that. And he owns the Foxfire Ranch, man. So if you're ever down that way, check out the Foxfire Ranch.
We haven't got to check it out,
Live
but we're
music,
going
he
to.
said, every second and fourth Sunday of the month. And a lot of times, Cedric Burnside, people of that sorts, of those guys I was just mentioning, R.L. Burnside and Junior Kimbrough, their family hangs out in there and plays live music. It's real blues music. So if you're going through Holly Springs around that way, check out Foxfire Ranch. We're going to when we go back through. You see what I'm saying? But here's what got me, though. Holly Springs, whoever's in charge of that stuff, y'all need to step y'all's game up, man, about having this stuff out for these musicians. These guys are legends, man. And you got a lot of tourist stuff that would come through there if you would just do something for them. We asked 10 people in this town.
A lot of people.
Of different races, different colors, white, blacks. It didn't matter who. Well, we asked everybody, random people. Hey, where can we find some stuff on Junior Kimbrough, R.L. Burnside? Nobody had no clue who we were talking about.
The old juke joint.
Junior
burned down.
Kimbrough's juke joint. We're looking for it, thinking it's still down there. It burned down. Not even there no more. Couldn't get nobody to tell you that. Holly Springs is a nice place. We're not knocking Holly Springs. Beautiful little town, and I would love to live there because it was just as backwoods and just country and soft and comfortable as you could find, you know.
Everybody was nice. The place that we ate.
Yeah, the Copper Kettle, man. Shout out to those
that
guys. Had the best fried chicken I've had, I believe, ever. Had the best. Man, I thought I'd had some good fried chicken. Not till I hit Mississippi, man. Let me tell y'all something. If you go to Mississippi, they know how to cook. Period. Eat in Mississippi if you get a chance. Fire. Everything we ate in Mississippi was fire.
Greens and pinto beans and macaroni and cheese.
Copper Kettle. Shout out, man. Hey, Copper Kettle is awesome in Holly Springs. Thank you guys for an awesome meal. It was great priced. It wasn't nothing over the top or anything like that.
It was great.
But I'm still aggravated. I'm going to say it one more time. Holly Springs, step up your blues game for these guys that are legends, man. You got a lot of revenue that could come into your city if you would just
put something out there for
put
somebody
a
to
museum
see.
up there, a small museum. Hell, Greensburg, where we come from, has got a museum, and we ain't got nothing else. 2 traffic lights. 3. I take it back. We got 3 traffic lights. I lied. But anyway, so Holly Springs was awesome. Check that out. Junior Kimbrough's buried there. We got a picture of his grave down there. Checked him out down there. Okay, then we moved on up to Harmontown.
On the way to Harmontown.
Oh yeah, on the way to
it on the
it
way
was after
there?
Harmontown. We went to
Okay.
Harmontown, and let me tell you something. Junior Kimbrough was buried on just like a side road that's out like next to a church and stuff, which is just regular, you know, not very far out of town. Not a big deal. R.L. Burnside, on the other hand, which is not saying that he was any better than Junior Kimbrough, this and this. They were big buddies, this and this. But R.L. Burnside's a little more famous than Junior Kimbrough. And when we went to find R.L. Burnside, he was buried in Harmontown, Mississippi. And let me tell you something. We went down this road, y'all, that was so backwoods and deep, it'll make back home look like nothing. You hear me? We get back here, and at one point, we'd seen so many rebel flags that I thought, oh, buddy, we're getting a little tough down here in the bottom, you know what I'm saying? So we stopped. I told the old lady, I said, man, we're going to have to turn around. Ain't no way. She's like, just keep on and see if we can find something. So we rode on down, and we found this little abandoned white church that looked something straight out of a Stephen King horror movie. Okay. There's a little cemetery here, and way in the back behind it, down in the weeds, was like 5 or 8 graves, man, that was down there. And R.L. Burnside was one of them. And I'm telling you what, when we come back up out of there taking them pictures of that grave site down there, she had to go as far as to say, what would you do if somebody was looking out one of them windows in that church? I told her, I said, you better hope you can run them boots, because I am gone like the wind.
And there was a cat out back, looked like it come out from the fucking pet cemetery down the hill. It was sitting back there fucking just staring.
And I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, Pet Sematary, it was a Stephen King novel if I ever seen one.
So we get the dog out, and the whole time that he's letting the dog out, he's looking around behind his shoulder and looking around, scared.
Yeah.
So we go to...
I'm big on locking the doors on the van, because everything you got's in the van, so you lock the doors, you know. So she's in the van, the dog's in the van, and shut it up and walking around to my side. My door's still locked. Man, I told her, you better unlock his door. You can't just leave me down here where it's at, man. I'm telling you, I just shaking the door handle and stuff. You better come on. Scared to death. So let me tell you something. Mississippi is a beautiful place, and we love Mississippi all the way out. But there is some backwoods in Mississippi. And I don't want to get called in if you ain't got to get called in. You know what I'm saying? On the way down, after we left Harmontown, we moved down to, where'd we move down to? Oh, I can't remember. Where'd we stay last night? Down next to Greenwood, Mississippi is where we was moving. Winona, Mississippi is where we stayed last night. And on the way down there, we were passing these fields. You know, we had cotton fields like crazy in Mississippi, and it become a standard after you've been driving so long. You just see them, and they're just cotton fields. Oh, where is my cotton? Oh, man.
Digging it out.
Okay, but anyway, on the next video, I actually pulled over on the side of the road, run through a field, and stole some cotton. I guess you call it stealing. I stole some cotton off a cotton plant so I could feel what it felt like. Even though most people would say, just feel your shirt, dummy, because it's cotton. It's not the same. It's totally different. And there was cotton seeds in it and stuff, so we'll show that on the next video, but since I didn't get it on this time, sorry. And we'll show you kind of what it looks like in this and this. So we had got to experience cotton for the first time ever, you know what I'm saying? So just because you're a hillbilly don't mean you know about it, all the crops and different stuff. No. We'd never seen it, you know. But another thing we never saw was they have miles of fields in Mississippi. And I'm not talking about like 10 acres or 20 acres. I'm talking about 50 or 60, 100 acres of just fields they do crops and stuff in, you know. So we get riding down the road, and you're riding, you know, doing our thing, you know what I'm saying, just cruising on down. And we start passing this field, and we notice there's like 50 or 60 people standing in a circle throwing potatoes in a bucket on their shoulder, right? And running them to the end of the patch and then going back up and getting more.
Dump them in a truck.
So we got to moving on down a little further, and there was like 5 buses and a couple vans. And on the other end of the where you could barely see them there was about 50 or 60 more people down there working, and they were picking up sweet potatoes and potatoes off the ground. I didn't know people still doing that. I thought by now they got a potato collector. They ain't got no potato collector. Yeah, they do. It's Steve and Jim and Jose down here in the corner. You know, I mean, there was a bunch of people down there, man. That was just picking up sweet potatoes and stuff. So that was an experience we had never seen like that. I mean, I'm talking about miles of potatoes, y'all. I'm not talking about you 3 rows you plant out back in the yard. I'm talking about like miles of potatoes laying on the ground. It was nuts. The craziest shit I ever seen.
The armadillo.
Oh my God! So we come into the latter part of Mississippi, going over into Arkansas. When we got over into Arkansas today, going toward Louisiana, the way we had to go through because we take state roads or whatnot, we saw a dead armadillo, y'all. Never seen an armadillo my whole life in the wild. Granted, he was deader than hell.
On the side of the road like a possum.
But it was like, yeah, back home we got possums and coons stuff. You know, we run them things over and they laying on the road. That was a whole armadillo, y'all, on the ground laying off the side of the road. It was the craziest shit I ever seen. Crazy.
Well, something you forgot to say was the man at the pilot this morning before we... got ready to leave.
Oh yeah. So we told you guys we had been staying at pilots and stuff. We hadn't had anybody bother us, this, that, and this. And if you've seen the van that we got beware dog signs around the van because it's a deterrent. For one, people don't try to bother something that says beware a dog on it. And for two, I got a big nasty dog in here, you know what I'm saying? So we're doing our thing. We're getting our stuff rolled up, our bed rolled up, and getting our van put back together so we can get on down the road going to Robert Johnson's grave. Well, some old koot, and I hate to call him that, but he's a koot, and had pulled up beside us and was jaw-boning louder than ever. And he's like, I think there's a dog in that car. And so I grabbed her collar and opened the door and looked at him and then shut the door back. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, fucker, I'm in here with my dog. You know what I'm saying?
So they didn't think the dog was in here by herself.
So instead of him just minding his own business, as we were talking about before, America, mind your own business. Just mind your own business, y'all. If you walk down the street and don't bother nobody, mind your own business, you'd see that you wouldn't have as many problems. Like, people would have a lot less problems. Just mind your own damn business. Anyway, the old coot, as I was saying, says, some old boy opened that door and I couldn't tell you what he said. Now, let me tell you something. I got an accent, but these people down here down south, they talk 10 times more country-fied than we ever thought about doing. So I knew if he didn't understand what I said, he was in a bad way.
Because all you said was,
hello, sir.
Yeah.
And shut the door back, just so he knew I hadn't left my dog in there by itself. So, and while he's standing there doing whatever he's doing, and that's
he's talking to his wife.
He's talking to his wife, talking shit outside the door pretty much. So I did the same thing I just told you. If people, I said it loud enough so he could hear me because my back window is open. If everybody in America just mind their own fucking business, they wouldn't have to worry about it now, would they? Well, when I got out, he was awful nice. Want to tell me about his broke door handles and whatnot. I don't care about your damn broke door, you old rude
He asked you something
coot.
about the dog.
Oh, he said, you got a mean dog there? I said, well, she's protective. And he said, so if I smack you, I said, she'll chew your fucking arms off. That's what I told him. Let me tell you something, but I got a fucking pistol for one. You don't want to smack much, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to be one old man out here with a gimp. Time it's done. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead. I'll let her chew your arms off. When the police get here, I'll give them back to you. Deal. You damn. So, we have met our first asshole on the road. You know what I'm saying? At a pilot. Not pilot's fault. It's the people that patron it, I get you saying.
People that park and ride, that keeps people
yeah, man,
like
and this is something else. I understand that, like if you got a buddy or a couple buddies that work the same place and you commute with these guys, if that's what you call it, we just call it riding with a buddy to work, splitting the gas. Listen to me, parking rides at Pilot are hurting people that are trying to travel because all you're doing is
some pilots won't even let you do it.
Sponging a free parking place instead of paying to park and go to work, or just having your buddy pick you up at the damn house.
Well, they was only riding somewhere with their
daughter.
Well,
I don't care where the hell is riding. What I'm saying is, like, parking rides they kill Pilot. They kill it for people like us that are trying to move and can't get a spot because Joe Dick went to work with Steve Doe here this morning and fucking they ain't got back to the truck
yet,
you know.
That's actually going to work.
Yeah, man. I mean, no offense to people who go to work. I'm glad you go to fucking work. I'm glad for that. But what I'm telling you is, stop parking and riding in places where people try to live, dog. You know what I'm saying? You rude shit.
But there are some pilots that won't even let you do it.
Yeah, man, they won't let you park and ride. And there's some pilots that won't let you park in their restaurant parking lots either. So people
there's only certain spots that you can park at.
Let me tell you something. Arkansas, L.A., Louisiana. I won't call you Los Angeles. Louisiana. Y'all got some shitty ass roads. Y'all need to go back to that old rap song or that old R&B song. That song, What Have You Done For Me Lately? Let me talk. And y'all need to call y'all's magistrate and ask him what the fuck he's done for y'all lately, because he ain't fixed the roads. He ain't done shit. Let me tell you something. I thought North Carolina was bad, Mom. Remember I told these people, don't go through North Carolina. I think North Carolina, as far as their road texture, has got y'all beat tenfold, man. Now, they may have more curves and mountains, but what I'm telling you is, Louisiana, Arkansas, step your magistrate game up, man, and get somebody to fix your damn roads. Yeah. I know y'all got the money, because I just went in a Pilot a while ago that we're staying at, and there's a damn casino inside the Pilot. So I took me a little $4-5 in there, and we throwed them in the machine, and we win We ain't win absolutely.
We was up a couple times.
Yeah,
we was just doing it just to
try it because we never tried. But we ain't win nothing. We ain't come out with no big 100,000, so we still on the hunt.
It was fun though.
It was a good time.
And that's not that. This pilot wasn't the only one. We seen different gas stations along the way to here.
They had casinos in them.
Casinos in them.
Louisiana will give you the ups, man, for being cool with gambling. We're not big fans of gambling. We're not. Well, like I said, that's the first time we've ever done it. They ain't gambled together.
They had a casino there, but it wasn't at no gas stations. It was just a casino.
It was pretty nice, though. But I'm telling you, man, fix your roads, Arkansas. Fix your roads, Louisiana. Hell, Mississippi got pea gravel roads with no shoulder to pull off on other than pea gravel. And now I would way rather drive their roads than to drive your main asphalted roads. Like it's nuts, man. Like
we went through one place today. I don't remember which town it was because we go through so many little towns that had the cobblestone or
went through a little town. Yeah, man. It had a cobblestone square. Hadn't seen that in a long time. You know what I mean? So like I'm telling you, if you think Greensburg, if you're watching this out of Greensburg, you think Greensburg's little and ain't nothing there.
There's a lot of smaller.
There's other places way smaller than Greensburg with a lot less. So be proud and thankful for what you got.
Really old buildings.
Yeah, man. Louisiana has some of the prettiest houses and buildings I've ever seen, my whole life. We're just gonna get a piece of Louisiana. We're going to Shreveport tomorrow. Check it out. And then we're going to move on over to Austin. We're going to go down to New Orleans, man. But New Orleans, Bourbon Street and stuff, it costs too much to park. And and they got so many rules about parking and stuff. And my dog. And New Orleans make your city more dog friendly and make it more parking friendly, man. And you'll get a lot more tourists. I know that people swamp that place and they ain't hurting for no money. But what I'm saying is, like, for the little man trying to go down and just see something, New Orleans is not for you. I promise you. It's so expensive just to go down and hang out.
Go through Tyler.
Yeah, we're gonna go through
Paul Cawthon lives.
Tyler, Texas, where Paul Cawthon's from. He lives in.
Where he lives. He was from there.
He lives in Dallas, and he's from Tyler, Texas. So so he's playing golf in Tyler, Texas. So Brock, Amanda, there you go, man. That's where Paul Cawthon's at.
We're going to Dallas too, ain't we?
We're gonna go to Dallas and see Stevie Ray Vaughan and Bonnie and Clyde's grave. So that'll be coming up too, so check those out on our next videos. We've run this video a little longer than we usually like to do it, but we had a lot to talk about, man. We had a couple states we went through, so we figured we'd give y'all the up and up.
We'll do more videos so they're not as long.
Yeah, man. So our next stop is Austin, Texas. After Shreveport tomorrow, we're going to go through there, and we're hoping to get down to Austin pretty quick because we got to be back up in Gatlinburg by the Halloween-ish. So, thank you guys for hanging out with us. This is our episode of B&T Living in the V. I'm Brandon. This is Tanya. If you ain't liked it or disliked it or subscribed, do it, man. You already watched this far in. Watch the video. Like the video. Help us move along, man. We're going to head on out to Austin. Thank you guys for being with us. We'll see you next time.